Hey Terraformers, it's Andrew Brown, and in this video we're going to show you how to do validation. We made a very simple one for week 0 in the project prep week here. So down below here, this is the video. It will be unlocked for you when it is ready. I've just temporarily unlocked it for myself so I can demonstrate how this works. So we'll click into here, and the way it works is you get a certain amount of runs. So you have 7 attempts to get this right. This number may change in the future. You know, it's just what it's set for me currently. But anyway, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and create a new run. And you're going to first accept the agreement. This agreement is basically just saying, hey, I'm not running these things in my company account. I'm responsible for my own spend within my own accounts, specifically for AWS here. This one, we're creating an S3 bucket. There should be no spend. We don't do write actions. We're just doing read actions. We're just reading with your account. Another thing is that we do collect JSON data because that's what we're doing. You're using the AWS CLI underneath in order to pull data from your account. And I just want to point out about that is that, we store that data in our own S3 buckets. They have a lifecycle policy, so they get automatically deleted after a period of time. I don't know what the period of time is, but it's not forever. We don't want to hold on to your data. We just want to validate your projects, and we want to store it for a short period of time so that we can go back there in case someone's trying to cheat or there's something odd and we need to debug stuff. But other than that, it's okay. We'll go ahead and say I agree, and we'll continue on. And the next thing we need to do is enter some values in here. So we need our AWS account ID, our user AWS region, our S3 bucket name. So what I'm going to do is just go log into my AWS account. Give me 2 moments. All right, so I'm now in my AWS account. What I need to do is go ahead and grab this account ID here at the top, and we'll go on back and we'll paste that on in here. We need to choose the region which the bucket is in. Default region for most stuff is US East 1, but double check where that is. So if I go to S3, I'm going to look for that bucket. Now that bucket was randomly generated. I'm in Terraform Cloud to double check the name of that resource since I just don't feel like opening Git pod right here. But if we click into that workspace and scroll on down, we should be able to see the name of the bucket here. It should show us somewhere here. The output here. So yeah, that's the name of the bucket, NCIT. Yours is going to be different than mine, so just make note of that. I'm going down here, I'm typing NCIT. There is my bucket. This one is in CA Central 1. So I'm going to go back over here, CA Central 1. Double check, triple check that you're entering that stuff incorrectly. Then we need the bucket name. What is the name of your S3 bucket? The name is this, right? So it's this value here. We're going to copy that, paste it in. Yours is going to be different from mine. Remember that. And we'll go ahead and save and continue. Now, in order to for us to pull data, you need to give us permission from your account. So what we're going to do is generate out a CloudFormation template. This is going to give us cross-access account, cross-role access account, if that makes any sense. We're going to go ahead and generate that CloudFormation template. And once it's generated, now we can download it or generate out the CLI command. The CLI command's a lot easier to use, so I think that's what we're going to do here today. So I'm just going to go over to GitHub, and we're going to make our way over to our project here. Of course, I'm going to mine. You got to go to your own. I'm going to just go ahead and launch my environment. Be back here in a moment when this is launched. All right, so I'm in my account here. I'm just going to bump it up a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. Let's do our sanity check to make sure. I know it runs initially when you launch this, but I had to load in my environment variable, so I'm going to just double check. Identity, if this works. Okay, great. So it's coming back here. And so I want to go ahead and set up this permission. So we're going to go generate that CLI command. And I'm going to go ahead and copy this. And we'll go back over here and paste that in. So that is going to create that stack. And I will hit enter. You got to be quick about this because this is a temporary file. It's not going to give you permissions forever. It says an error occurred when calling the create stack. It already exists. So the thing is that this stack, you can only have one of them in your account. So you won't have this issue. This is just because I've ran it before. But I'm going to go over to CloudFormation. This is something you should take note of in the future. And I'm just going to go over to CloudFormation. And I'm just going to remove mine here. So the stack is over here. We'll go ahead and delete that. Okay. And I'm going to try that again. So I'm just going to refresh that there. There, it's gone. We'll go back over here. I'm going to go ahead and hit up on the keyboard. I'm going to hit enter. And there we go. I almost just thought about this. We could have made this in Terraform. I don't know why we didn't, but it's just how it is. Anyway, so we created that stack. Let's go confirm that it is there. We'll go refresh that and refresh it again. Just give it a moment. We'll wait till it's done, okay? There we go. So it didn't take long. I just kept refreshing till it's done. And so this is going to give us access to very specific things. If you're really curious what we're asking for every single validator, we're only asking for what we need. We don't want full access to your account. That'd be very dangerous. We don't want to have that level of access. But if we go over to resources here, it's creating this cross-account role. If we click into it, again, I'm just showing you this. This is nothing super exciting, but we can go here and check what permissions we're asking for. So you'll notice here, if we expand it, it's only asking to list all your buckets, and that's all it's asking for this particular one. So again, if you're concerned from a security perspective, you can investigate this. For the most part, we try to lock things down as best we can. It's based on what AWS allows us to do, because writing permissions is for different CLI commands is challenging. But anyway, we'll go back over to here. And so we finished this step, and we just confirmed that manually ourselves. And we're going to go to the puller step. And this is going to now pull the data. So we are running CLI commands. You'll see them here. So watch this. It should show something here. S3 API list bucket. I know it was very quick, but it's the same commands that we can run over here. AWS S3 API list buckets. Right? I probably spelled it wrong. There we go. Yeah, list bucket. So that's the command that it just ran. And so it's getting back data that looks like this. So that's what our validator is doing. And then the validator is going to run checks against the JSON payload that we've stored in our S3 bucket that we're holding onto temporarily. And we're going to go ahead and run the validator. And so it's going to show us that there is one spec. This is the spec for S3. And there are 3 asserts. So, or sorry, this is the group. This is the spec. And then these are the internal checks. So it's loading that that data. So it's loading this from a file. It's checking for buckets because that is the data structure. If you notice here, it has buckets. And it's looking for that expected value here. Okay, so it's looking for that name, and if it matches it, it's in good shape. In our last bootcamp or last cohort, we actually had the rules open and we were showing them. I don't think we're doing that in this one just because, well, there's no reason that we can. It's just I think we haven't maintained that repo, but you know, we might do that because if folks have failures and they want to investigate and tell us there's an issue, it'd be nice to have the source available so that, you know, we can correct that stuff for you. But we do check this quite a bit, so I don't think you'll run into issues. But yeah, once you're done, and this should issue you out a star. If it's not, we'll give it a refresh here. Might just require a refresh. Yeah, I mean, we passed it. So anyway, it should give a star. For whatever reason it's not, I'll go fix that. But that's all I want you to do is get through this, get green all the way, and then this star should, you know, appear when this is correct. But anyway, we'll see you in the next one, okay? Ciao.